Once There Were Wolves was my first book by Charlotte McConaghy, but it is certainly not going to be my last. This book follows a biologist named Inti who is on an assignment in the Scottish Highlands to reintroduce wolves into the wild. She believes that this assignment will not only begin the healing of nature, but also of her twin sister Aggie, who has recently gone through a traumatic experience. Unfortunately, the locals are very fearful of the wolves, and Inti receives some pushback, and when a local farmer ends up dead, the wolves are the number one suspect. And so Inti sets out on a journey to prove that not only are the wolves completely innocent, but to find out who actually committed this crime. Along the way, she becomes entangled in the lives of the people of this village, including the local sheriff, who she begins a romantic relationship with. Things are messy, they are complicated, and they're beautiful. This book is equal parts literary, mystery, romance. The themes explored here are the human impact on the world, environmental decline, motherhood. It is told in such a lush and vivid way. The imagery used in this book is so just picture perfect, and it felt like I was in the story. I was so invested in the characters. I was so invested in this mystery. I loved Inti as a main character. She was strong. She stood up for what she believed in. She was not afraid to challenge the people that were doing harm to not only other people, but also to the world, to nature. She is smart and she's fierce, and she feels so deeply for herself, for her sister, for her family, for her friends. And it was so wonderful being in her perspective. I loved reading about Inti, and I loved reading about why she cares about the issues that she cares about. We also do get to see flashbacks of what happened to her sister and why her sister no longer speaks. There was a lot of tension in the build-up to kind of the big reveal of what actually happened, and I felt like it was incredibly effective. It made the story all the more dynamic. I was on the edge of my seat for the entire book because I just wanted to know what was going to happen. I wanted to know what had happened. I wanted to know how everything was going to be resolved, and I was incredibly satisfied by how this book concludes. I am so incredibly happy that I finally gave Charlotte McConaghy a chance, because this was just an absolutely wonderful, beautiful book to read. It's probably my favorite book that I've read of the year so far. I just think that everything about this book was perfect for the time that I read it. I am incredibly excited to read more from her. I know everybody's been reading and loving Wild Dark Shore, but I'm also equally interested in her debut novel, which is called Migrations. So hopefully I'll pick up one or both of those relatively soon. My goal is to read her entire catalog before the end of the year. So if you haven't read Once There Were Wolves, I would highly recommend giving it a go. This was the easiest 5-star that I've given all year, and I will not stop raving about how wonderful this book is.